So hello everyone and hello Professor. Today my group and I are going to present about our final project for Java, and our project is we create an app called Model-View-ViewModel, and it is an Android version. So here is our table of content. We have the introduction, user interface, technology, implementation, and our app and code demo. First, we will be getting started with introduction. So Tahmer is a small, simple mobile phone application that provides all function for user to search for description and rating of a movie, and also help user to see the most popular movie as well. So next we will be moving on to user interface. So if you see on our left side is our home page. And on our homepage, we display a popular movie that is releasing, that is currently releasing. And on the right, if you click on the movie that you want to see, we will be displaying the movie poster, the rating that people rate the movie, and a brief description about what the movie is about. Next, we'll be moving on to technology, which my friend will be presenting next.
Moving on to technology. So the technology we use for this project is, first we use Java for our program language. The logic part of this application is fully based on language for and the best IDE for building native Android app using Java, and the UI part is written in XML format. We also use Retrofit, a third-party library which is used in this project to help us make requests and get response from web service. We also use JSON, a library from Google, which help developers to map HTTP response body to Java object. Moving on to implementation, and it will be presented by Samnang.
Okay, now I'm going to present about the implementation part. So just simple, we dividing our project into two parts. The first one, the API part, and our application is based on the MVVM API, all the data we get from here. And for the project structure, we use MVVM pattern, which is stand for model, view, and view model. It helps us to separate the logic part from the UI part, so we can debug our application easily. And moreover, we can also scale our app in the future easily too. And yep, here is the structure of our application. Before we are going to present about our code, it is better to understand this structure first. So the first, the starting point of our application is that we make a request to an API. In our case here, we use the MVVM API. And then all the data that we get from the response, we store it into the repository class. And then this repository class will store the data that we get from the API. And then the view model class will help us to map our data from the repository into our model class. And next, we have one more additional class, which is adapter class. This adapter class will help us to bind our data from the model into the UI part. Yep, again, starting from API and then repository, and then view model map the data from model, from repository to model. And next, our data class will help us to bind the data in the model into the UI part. Yep, now let's move on to our demo part. First, I want to launch the application. Okay, here is our app. And when you first launch the app, it will show the popular movie on the screen. Let's click on this one, and then it will show the brief description and the star or rating part. So for the star, you can play around with it, but whenever you click back, it will come to the initial step. Now let me set the search function. Let's search for Tom. Yep, here. And let's click this one. Yep, it will show the description and the movie title and also the poster. Yep. Here is our application. It is simple, just to search the movie that you want to see, each rating and the description of the movie. Yep. Now let's move on to the demo code. Okay. So Panya will present about, Areykal will present about the UI first, and then Panya will present about the request and response part, and then I will present about the rest.
Okay, let's start with the layout of our UI design. So in this first file, which is called activity main, it is what you see when you first launch the app. So you have a description, movie is live, and under that you have a search box where you can search for movies. And in activity movie details, this is what you see when you click on a movie to see its detail. So you have the poster and the movie title and the star rating and also the description of the movie. For the movie list item, it is what you see when you search for a movie. This will show up whenever you search for a movie and before you click to the detail view. So you see the poster of the movie and also the star rating. And for popular layout, it is what you see when you launch the app without searching for a movie. So the popular movie will show up and you can see also the movie's poster and its rating. And now Panya will start with the utils folder.
Okay, so for the util part, we have the credential file. So the credential file is basically what it do is it allow the Android app to allow the API to work. So without the credential, the API will be blocked by the Android app. It's basically like if you have an Android phone, like when you open any app, it will be like as you allow access to a photo or allow access to your location, etc. So basically it's the same. So yeah, this credential is basically its job is to make Android app allow the API key and API link. So we can get the request of our movie information. And moving on, we go to the interface, the movie API, we have the interface. So yeah, basically this is just a structure of the app for like the structure for search movie and structure for popular movie and yeah, and the last but not least, we have structure for movie ID. So yeah, moving on, we have the request folder. So in this folder, basically the job is to request the information about the movie that the user want to see. And this request, we use an important library called retrofit tool that we discussed in the slide presentation. So this request is just request the information from the internet to get the movie information. And for the response folder, so we take the information that we got from the internet, the raw information that you find in the internet. Yeah, the raw information. So here is the raw information that we request from the internet, and we take all this information, and so this information is a JSON type, and we convert it to our model, the serialized name model, and we convert it by using a library called JSON.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all for response.
Yep. Now let's moving on to the rest part in our application. So that we have, let me go to the model class first. Like Khunsoppagna mentioned earlier, the response part will help us to map the data that we get it from the API, which is JSON, and then convert it by using JSON to our model. Here is our model class. As you can see here, we get only the specific information that we want only, not all the information that you get from the request is mapping to this model. So we want only title for the path, which is showing the image of the movie, and then there is that the movie ID, which help us to show the movie detail. Yep, and then the vote average. This is for the model class, and then moving on to our repository class. And this repository class will help us to map the data, to take the data that we get from the API, and then keep it here. So the repository class is a placeholder for the data that we request. And then we also use our view model class to help mapping the data from the request in the repository into our model class. So now our data is in the model class, and then we use the adapter class here to map all the data in the model class into our UI part, which we see in the application. So the flow of our application is something like that. Yep, I think that's all for our application. Oh, one more thing. Our application also introducing an endless scroll tool. For example, like when you scroll Facebook, when it reach to the end, it will pop up the new information. Here it's the same. When you scroll to the end of the movie page, it will show the other movie that display with the same name. Yep, I think that's it. Then moving back to our slide. So, sorry. So here the reference that we get the application from and the thing on it, we get from this YouTube channel, and he is the author. Thankful to him. And what for our future, we think we might introduce a new feature like a sorted function by alphabet, release that and rating. And then we also consider to improve our UI path to be more attractive to the user as well. And last but not least, we will test more, find more the bugs, and fix more, because we have only limited amount of time here. So we think that we haven't tested We haven't tested it all. We just tested in some functionality. So we will continue to find more bug and fix more. Yep. Thank you. That's the end of our presentation. Bye-bye.
One more thing. Wait, one more thing. So to recap, our app. So our app is like if you have free time and you want to check out which movie that is available now on your like near your house movie theater or something, you can check our app to see if you like the movie, if people like it, and what the movie is about. So you can think to yourself if that movie worth seeing or not. So if you check our app and you think that movie is worth your time seeing, you can book your own ticket and go see it yourself. So yeah, that is all. That's the purpose of our app.
Yeah. And yes, if you want to test our app, we will put the link to our GitHub for this code. We will post the link of the code in our GitHub so that you can test it out by download all the source code and run it in your mobile phone. Yeah, we will put it in the comment section of this video. Yeah, thank you. That's it. Bye-bye.